Hello, this is Mr. Bacon Bits, and welcome back to Xenoblade Definitive Edition. This is the Bestiary for the Central Factory at the Mechonis. It's one of 3 areas of the Mechonis, and you'll be able to fight most enemies on your first visit. As usual, they'll be listed in level order, with unique monsters for last. I'll do short little descriptions for each unique monster, detailing any possible hints or tips to defeat them. So let's start it off with the regular enemies.
Let's focus our efforts.
Okay, moving on to unique monsters now, we've got Mild Florence, which is at the top of Landing Strip 2. Kinda easily overlooked since there's nothing else of interest there. The weakest of the unique monsters, and you'll likely already be in your early 60s in terms of levels, so this one's fairly easy to take down, despite being accompanied by other Mechon and can inflict topple. You can use Expert Mode to lower your levels and make it a bit more of a challenge if you want, though. Faithful Lancelot is the next one, which you most likely have already been forced to fight since he's guarding the terminal for bomb construction. Not particularly hard either as a result, just beware of moving around too much if you opened the hangar doors beforehand, considering the mass-produced face Mechon. Beautiful Vagul is next, over at the storage depot just nearby the previous one. It's the enemy in question that needs to be defeated for the Eliminate the Backup surprise quest. It has a spike that inflicts physical defense down by 25% every time you hit it. Plus it's surrounded by other Mechon, so I recommend taking down most, if not all, the Mechon in this location first, so you can't get murdered so easily. Other than that, it's a fairly non-threatening spike, and Vagul itself is not that bad. Synchronised Gaheris is floating around the stacks of containers near the central tower lift, and is accompanied by an offensive diary. That in itself isn't the issue. There's also the M108 SPADE wandering around, which is the large tower Mechon, as well as other Mechon that snipe you and inflict slow. The slow isn't too bad, it'll just make it harder to escape if you track more enemies than you wanted to. Just take this on while staying away from the giant Mechon and you should be good. Balanced Palamedes can be found guarding an ether gear over by the central tower roof, in a small area accessible after the forced Mechon ambush. It is accompanied by 2 other Mechon and, once again, isn't too bad of an enemy to deal with. Not much I can really say about this one. Sinful Lamorak is nearby. It appears when you enter the alcove where some Mechon were hiding before. This has a counter spike that deals 590 damage every hit. So, as usual, I recommend some spike resistance, topple strategies, or just outright purging the spike. Other than that, like other Mechons similar to it, it has a powerful sweeping attack that can inflict topple, and also has that explosion that can knock everyone back. Just be careful.
But we mustn't be careless.
Venerable Focalor is next, found on the training ground roof, and is actually the subject of elimination in the Roof Battle Surprise Quest. I mentioned this in the travel guide and quests for this area as well, but to reach this area you have to jump off to the platform on the side while taking the central lift. This unique monster has a massive topple spike that inflicts 1450 damage, so pretty much just fight it with a party that is impossible to topple with, since you never know what the AI will do. Other than that, it has Blaze and Bleed arts, so if you have any debuff resistance, that'll go great. Temporal Gawain is one of the mass-produced faces behind the hangar doors in the control tower. Essentially is just a more powerful version of the others, but with a massive topple spike that inflicts 1520 damage. So again, just use a party that cannot topple and this should go fairly swimmingly.
Not bad!
We were amazing.
Okay guys, now we're putting together.
So, only need hero fun Ricky. No problem at all.
The final one is Magestic Mordred. It's level 70 and is a tower Mechon, and is found north of the face maintenance bay, that location that's featured in a few cutscenes. Considering it still may be too tricky to take on red tag enemies, especially with a tower Mechon that starts off with a deadly mega flamethrower attack, I'd probably recommend until you come back later at a higher level. The perfect time to do so is during the part in the story where you have to head back to destroy the Apocrypha, as you'll be in a higher floor of this area, and there is a transporter that leads you back directly to this unique monster. And you should be around level 70-ish by that time. So that'll be it for this video. Stay safe, happy and healthy, and I'll catch you guys later.
Now we're working as one.
This, Roger.
Okay,
Let's focus our efforts. Roger.
gotcha. Fire!
Soaring.
No way.
To that. We can definitely do this. Understood.
Gotcha.
Ha!
Fire!
Let's focus our efforts. Understood.
Okay,